Hey guys, I'm RozaldVaneGAME, and welcome back to another episode of Zero Escape VLR, or Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, or Virtue's Last Reward. Last episode, I was sick. I'm a little bit better. I took a day off, not a day off, but like a day break. So this is literally the day after the last episode, so I'm feeling a little bit better. Not as super congested as I was. But I can still need to probably take a break here and there if I need to like clear my nose, because this game has a lot of talking required, so it might force me to like clear my nose very often in this lineup of video recording here. But thankfully this will be the sort of the end of the session kind of thing on the weekend, so I'll probably hopefully get a whole week break until the next episode, so that I can at least recover from that, and then I will just continue off through the series, of course. But anyways, last episode we heard the last of what the next round of BP points would look like. Found out that things have changed. We have a different pairing, we have a different color, we have a different rule set going up. And yeah, we're basically close to death because we only got one BP, one Sigma, and yeah, Sigma is now in the room alone, just kind of reminiscing in a weird way, thinking to himself, so he could just give us some expose about himself, I guess, in a weird way. So, yeah. Anyways, December 5th, 25th, 2028, which, surprisingly enough, is not too far away from this particular date, but yeah. Early morning, California desert. Hey, I'm in California as well. The moon was beautiful. I just finished writing a paper due that day, and was heading to my car from the research building. The parking lot was empty, and a bright moon cast sharp shadows across the chilly pavement. The last time I looked at the clock, it had said 2 in the morning. Could have just said 2 a.m. It would have gotten the point across. It was 2 a.m., which meant that today was Christmas Day. So why was I at school typing away feverishly on Christmas? There were 3 reasons. First, my home computer had suddenly decided to eat crap. When I hit the power button, I just got nothing. Hey, actually that happened to me. I just realized that's the same exact scenario, because my computer was like, in the middle of it, it was just like, my first computer, my first desktop that I ever had, just like shut off. And I was just like, oh, maybe the power like disrupted something on my desktop, and I just kept pressing the power button. And it was just like nothing. I was just like, ugh. I feel relatable. What the hell? I didn't have the time to spend all night troubleshooting the stupid thing, so I headed off to the campus to use one of the school's machines, which I would probably do exactly the same. But in my scenario, it's not the same, because it's like, well, I'm not using it for homework because I don't go to school anymore. I've already graduated, so. Second, the professor in charge of my research group was a Buddhist. What? Christmas didn't appear to have any sort of significance to him, and part of me couldn't shake the thought that he was trying to make some kind of point. Honestly, that's not a I don't know why would that be an excuse to not. I don't think Buddhist has anything to do with Christmas in any way, even though it's like Christmas is not a holiday for religion. It's like just a holiday. Well, I mean, I know it's based on a religion in a way, like its basis is from that kind of thing, but then it's more towards like nowadays it's more towards just being a festive sort of season versus having to be like something related to religion in a weird way. I mean, I could be wrong, but totally I'd say that it's more festive than religious based in a weird way nowadays. Like, I know some people are like sensitive to Christmas, and that's why they say, like, instead of saying Merry Christmas, it's Happy Holidays, and it's more festive. But I don't really care. I think it's ultimately a festive season. That's all I'll say. It's a freaking festive season. If you think it's something to do with that, like religion, that's something wrong. There's something wrong here. It's just a season of like giving. It's just the idea that we're here to give and receive, and we're here to just see the snow come down if you live in a place where there's snow, or just to see like sort of like the place be like very happy about like how you're like you get 2 free weeks of fun of doing anything literally, or 3 weeks rather. It's just I feel like it's more like a season of just fun rather than season of just like random ass like it's a break point rather. Third, my girlfriend had broken up with me a week before. I'm sorry. Or I'll read it as the lady's voice, I guess. I'm sorry, I don't think we could see each other anymore. We should see each other more. Goodbye. All I got was that one cold email. Try as I might, I couldn't even get in touch with her. Of course, that meant I wouldn't be attending the party we'd been planning on going to. Somehow I didn't know drinking by myself around a bunch of happy couples would really be a good idea. At any rate, I stayed up all night to finish my paper, and I emailed it off to my professor before the sun began to rise. As I walked across the parking lot, I felt light. Perhaps it was a relief of finishing my paper, or perhaps it was the 5 energy drinks I chugged to stay awake. Perhaps it was both. I slid into my car and stuck the key into the ignition after only 2 tries. I twisted the key. Nothing happened. Huh? Yeah, you know what? I can't drink my coffee while this is happening. I jiggled the key in the slot and tried again. And again. And again. I was waiting for the third again. On the 5th try, the engine made an odd creaking noise like metal on metal and fell silent. God damn it! You stupid piece of crap! I screamed and pounded on the steering wheel, but nothing worked. The console was about to give a visit from my fist when... Flashbang! Huh? What? Nani? What the hell is this? Why is my car smoking? I clawed at the door, and for a moment I thought that it was just my panic and lack of sleep that were keeping me from opening it. It wasn't long before I realized the truth. Crap! Open! God damn it! What was going on? My mind was racing, trying desperately to puzzle out what was happening through a haze of fear and caffeine-fueled neuron misfires. That was when I saw it. Just a glimpse in the rear-view mirror, but I was certain there was someone behind my car. I spun around as fast as a very tired college student sitting in a car can. Who's there? My vision started to swim as the smoke filled the car. The more of it I inhaled, the heavier my body felt, and I could already feel the world starting to go dark. The last of my strength failed, and I collapsed sideways into the passenger seat. My eyes slowly drooped closed. When they opened again, I was in the AB room with Phi. Why is this happening to me? I spent a few minutes wallowing in misery. I figured I deserved at least a little self-pity. But even I knew that brooding and whining up it wasn't going to get me anywhere. Like Kay had said, we needed to at least try and find another way out. So I shook my head to clear it, stood up straight, and headed off. Oh. Wait, what? But there's no flow... Oh, I see. It's just... We're gonna probably go through the whole... We're probably gonna go through either one, and it will all feel the same anyways. This kind of feels familiar to Zero Escape 999, where Junpei does, like, go off to search for people, or to search for Snake. When we were, like, looking for him, we had, like, a choice tree to, like, figure out, like, what to look at first. Cruise quarters, since we were there first. Might as well. Okay. Crew quarters. Who's in here anyways? Oh.
Shiguma-san.
It's Quark and K. Alright, let me clear my nose. My nose just started getting funnier because I just started speaking a lot in that moment. So it's just like, at least we're getting through it, at least. I just like to press an extra button before I go off. Anyways. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, let's keep going.
このキャビンがある区画って確かシグマさんたちが調べたんだったよね。
Yeah. Yeah, I was. Phi, Alice, and I went through all the rooms.
その時、どこか不自然な箇所は見当たりませんでしたか？
例えば、隠し通路がありそうなところとか。
If I had, you wouldn't really think I wouldn't have told you?
では、他に何か変わったところは？
Out of the ordinary.
この本は何？
Huh? Oh. That's a book. A Meowth's Cats.
にゃ？
Oh, sorry. It's just this thing that's happened to me ever since I was a kid. Whenever I start talking about cats, I start talking like one. It doesn't really mean anything, though.
わかりました。
Honestly, I don't know why they don't... The translators should have just kept it as, like, yeah. Like, instead of making, like, weird translation of, like... Because I kind of get where the whole, like, talk like a cat kind of starts happening. Where at the end of the sentence is always just, yeah. Because it makes more sense that way, I think.
変な癖だね。
It makes more sense that way because, like, in the... Like, I think I read a manga where somebody also had the same effect of cats, or when they try to talk about cat, or have a cat conversation, the cats would end with nya, as, like, a way to, like, represent that they are talking like a cat.
で、猫の本っていうのは？
Oh. Well, there's this quantum physics thought experiment called Schrodinger's cat, Nya. The book talks about it, Nya.
ああ、それなら私も知っています。
Yeah, I'm gonna read it like that from here on out. I don't want to read it like the pun. The pun just makes it kind of dumber a little bit. I think some people will like it, some people won't like it. I'm kind of the people on the camp of I don't like it.
ある装置が組み込まれた箱の中に一匹の猫が閉じ込められている。その猫は生きている状態と死んでいる状態が重なり合ったまま共存している。
Yep.
確かそんな内容の話でしたよね。
But I don't know about releasing poison inside of the thing. In actuality, it's more just that the cat is left in a container or something like that, and then the Schrodinger, the scientist, goes off and waits for like a few days or weeks, like basically to a point where the cat can either starve or something, and then wait to see if the cat would be alive or not. Or it would be just like leaving the cat in a container with no air bubble and then just coming back after a day or two. Something like that. I don't think he would release poison. If it is, I'm just like, why? Maybe, yeah.
Eh?
I don't really know anything about it, yeah. I'm just telling you what Phi told me, yeah.
とにかく、ニャニカの手がかりにはにゃりそうもにゃいね。
Yeah, exactly how Quark is starting to say the same thing with the nya, nya.
クオーク君、映ってますよ。
Well, what about you guys?
どうと言いますと。
You checked out the lounge with Clover and Tenmyoji, and Quark was in the infirmary with Dio and Luna. Anything suspicious there?
怪しいといえば、この建物のすべてが怪しさに満ちていることになりますが、 そのことはひとまず置いておくことにして、ラウンジで気になったのは、月食をモチーフにした仕掛けがあったことぐらいでしょうか。
Lunar eclipse?
ええ。どうやら、2028年の12月31日に皆既月食が起こるらしく。
Huh, okay.
部屋には、そのことに関連した特殊なギミックが設置されていたのです。
Isn't that this New Year's Eve?
そのようですね。私は記憶を失っているので、日付はわからないのですが、四葉さんがそうおっしゃっていたので、おそらくそういうことなのでしょう。
So Kay only knows the time frame because of the fact that Clover filled him in. The 31st, huh? I've been knocked out at dawn at the 25th, so the 31st would be 6 days after that. Lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. What did it have to do with any of this? Try as I might, I couldn't think of any way an eclipse could be connected to our abductions.
クオーク君、医務室の方は探索してる間に何か気づいたことはありませんでしたか？
あるよ。一つだけ。
What was it? 何か？
ディオさんやルナさんからまだ何も聞いてない？
何か？なんで？ I don't know. Yeah, no.
わかった。それじゃあ教えてあげる。これを見て。
Oh, you got an actual like thing from the whole thing. Quark reached into his pocket and pulled out what appeared to be a newspaper clipping. My throat began to tighten as I read it. Radical 6 infection spreads. Cure continues to elude authorities. The Radical 6 virus continues to spread across the globe like wildfire. The WHO has confirmed that the death toll is estimated to pass 100,000 victims. It's not that much, but okay. Because it's like, what? By the time of 2028, I feel like the global population is like still around like relatively 7 billion or 8 billion or something like that. So I'm just kind of confused why that matters still. Immediate quarantine of any infected patients is strongly advised. Is this for real?
にわかには信じがたいですね。
If it really is some kind of pandemic, though, that sounds like a pretty big deal.
だと思います。
There hasn't been anything on the news, though. This is the first time I've ever heard the term Radical 6.
とにかく、外の世界のことが気がかりですね。一体今、この建物の外では何が起こっているのか。
Quark.
ねえ、だけど心配しててもしょうがないしさ。早くここから脱出する方法を探そうよ。
確かに、クオーク君の言う通りかもしれません。外がどうなっているのかを知るためには、実際にここを出て、自分の目で確かめるのが一番手っ取り早いでしょう。
Yeah, you're right.
じゃあ、僕とケイさんは引き続きこのキャビン区画を調べてみるよ。シグマさんはどうする？
I guess I'll go somewhere else.
わかった。
それでは、また後ほど。
またね. Later. I stepped out of the cabin we'd been in and headed towards the small hallway. Now, where to next? I'll go to the infirmary. Really? We're going in a weird way? Oh, actually, no, we're not going in the weird way. We're going in a different pathway. Infirmary. Different room. At least we get a hint of what we're going to expect when we revisit some of these spaces in a different way, I guess. We're probably going to see it differently once we replayed through the beginning of the game just to get to this point again, but we'll see. So, this is the infirmary, huh?
あら、シグマも来たのね。
Addis, Alice.
何よ、そのゴキブリでも見つけたみたいな顔。まだ怒ってるの？
Yes, I'm still angry. You didn't have to beat me down. Honestly, she didn't need to beat me down by the fact that I chose ally instead of betray. Like, Jesus Christ. She kind of beat me down saying I'm stupid or something. It's just like, come on, dude. We had a sort of like feeling that things would like be a little bit nicer, but no. Of course. I'm teetering on the brink of the abyss thanks to you.
しょうがないじゃない。
You did have a choice. You moron. You had a choice of ally and betray. There's no such thing as I don't have a choice. Nobody says that.
確実に脱出するためだもの。
And that's enough to justify screwing someone else over?
そこまでは言ってないでしょ。私だって、あなたたちが確実に協力を選ぶって分かっていれば、協力に投票したわよ。
ま、今なら何とでも言えるよな。
True.
何よ。
I didn't know Dio was here.
ここから確実に出たいと思うことがそんなに悪い？
Yes.
私は絶対にここから出なくちゃいけないの。
Remember, the rounds can keep going until somebody gets out of here, or until everyone gets out of here with the number 9 door. Like, this is a team effort, but unfortunately nobody's recognizing this as like a team effort. Everyone's recognized it as a survival of the fittest bullcrap.
やり残したことだってたくさんあるんだから。
Uh-huh.
やり残したことって？
例えば、そうね。もっとたくさん綺麗な服を着たいし。
Just thinking about her clothes right now, I don't know about that.
もっとたくさん美味しいものも食べたいし。もっとたくさん素敵な恋もしたいし。
Okay, that's fair.
くだらんな。
And even Temioji's here. Temioji's in here with us. What the heck?
なんですって？
お前さんの味方をしてやろうと思ったんじゃが、今の発言を聞いてげんなりじゃよ。
Ooh, interesting.
誤解しないでよ。今のはただ勢いに任せて言っただけで。
With what?
本当はもっと大事なことがあるんだから。
Which is?
殺された父の仇を取ること。
Huh? That's a new information. Like, if you've seen me play through Zero Escape 999, or you played Zero Escape 999 yourself, Alice wasn't really told much about. Oh, actually, maybe that might make sense. So there's a bit of information that Seven from the previous game, Seven in the previous game said something about how her mummified ice sculpture thing was taken around, and there was a guy who was carrying her around in Canada, I think it was, but there was a thief who stole her whole coffin thing. But I think that the guy who was taking care of her was like the guy who got killed and was considered her father, maybe, or maybe her father's murder is like the one from all the way in the past or something. We still don't. I don't think we have any clarity of what kind of history Alice has. Only the fact that we know that she was encapsulated in ice and is released at the end of the last game, and then here she is randomly. I wish we knew about her history still.
それが私のやり残したことよ。
What happened to him? Could you elaborate on that?
差し障りありまくりなんですけど。
Okay.
初対面のあなたたちにベラベラと話すようなことじゃないわ。
Alright, there's no point in bringing that up then if you're really, like, not going to tell us much about it. So those are the pieces that we haven't figured out on the Infirmary, but hopefully we'll see that in a revisit of this place later on. Fine. Just tell me one thing. Does your father's murder have anything to do with us being trapped here?
さあ、あなたたちのことはよくわからないわ。
Okay.
でも私がさらわれてきたこととはもしかしたら関係があるのかも。
Meaning?
追ってたのよ、私。父 父を殺した犯人たちを。
Oh, okay.
追ってた。
捕まえようとしてたってこと。だからその報復として拉致されてきたって可能性は考えられないこともないわ。
Are you some kind of detective?
そうね。
I'm trying to remember what detective was in Japanese. I think it was Tento? Tanto? Tanto? Tanko? I can't remember because it's been a while since I've played Judgment, and they usually say detective in that one a little bit, but it's like now I'm forgetting it because I don't hear it anymore. Tanto? I can't remember.
当たらずとも遠からずってところかしら。国家の敵を排除するのが仕事という意味では同じと言えないこともないわ。なんなのよその目は。
Well, I mean, I don't really have the detective look from you.
だから刑事じゃないって言ってるでしょ。
Then what are you? CIA?
違うわ。
Fine. Well, whatever you are, you don't look like one.
見えなくていいのよ。むしろ一発で見抜かれたら何かと不都合になる。そういう仕事なんだから。
I mean, other characters in other games who are playing as detective somewhat don't look like detective themselves anyways, so it's just like, I don't know. Like, Sherlock Holmes doesn't... I don't feel like Sherlock Holmes looks like a real detective, but he kind of is like the impression he gives. The impression he gives is a detective vibe, but his dress doesn't feel like a detective at first. But I think he's like the originator of how detectives should look, but in a weird way, if I was to say that it's comparable to today's detective looks, it's a little bit old school versus new school kind of thing. But obviously, I guess Alice is not much of a detective looking because of how scandalous she's dressed up as, like Lotus from the last game.
なあ、四つ葉とはどういう関係なんだ。
なんで突然四つ葉の話が出てくるのよ。
I like how Dio gets to the point of where they kind of interacted with each other, sort of.
だってお前ら知り合いなんだろ。もしかしてその怪しい仕事つながりなんじゃ。
違うわよ。彼女は仕事とは関係ない。ある場所で偶然出会ったただの友達。
Where is this somewhere?
砂漠のど真ん中。
どこですか? Yeah, that's true actually. A desert?
そう。でもこのことは話すと長くなるから。
Yeah, because they never connect the gap about from meeting in the desert in Zero Escape 99 to whatever's happening here.
ねえ、そんなことよりもなんで私にばっかり質問するの?
Because you're not telling us anything. You just say like, oh, it's a long story, or oh, it's a secret because I don't trust you guys. It's like everything seems to be so closed off to you that we're gonna have to stay silent because you don't seem to want to open up to us. So why do we need to like give you like a sort of like nice behavior if you're not giving us anything? You're just being so secretive about everything. I like this though because it's like an interesting... I'm starting to like these parts where it's just giving us dynamics of what these characters are like. This was what I was missing in terms of like going through the puzzle rooms. Like I felt like the puzzle room should have had some of these interactions where we're hearing what the story is behind some of these characters and their sort of like interaction with each other in a way, because it's really unique to hear what their backstories are, because it helps build character, and I wanted this. So I'm glad we're getting this now versus never.
こんなのフェアじゃないわ。あなたたちのことも聞かせてもらわないと。まずは天明寺さんから。あなたは一体何者？
ただの廃品回収業者じゃよ。
Just a garbage collector.
ゼロに心当たりは？
ないな。
クオークとはどんな関係なの？あなたとクオークも知り合いなんでしょ？
そこまで答えなければならんかね。
Yeah, you literally don't answer any of our questions much. You only give us like a straight answer and that's it. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. It looks like we're pretty much over time here. But let's get to
どうして
this.
も教えたくないって言うなら仕方ないけど。
そうか。ではすまんが、その件についてはノーコメントとさせてもらうことにしよう。アリスだって全てを話してくれたわけではないしな。
True.
そう。わかったわ。
I mean, especially with the fact that Alice is the one asking, makes it even harder for her to hear any answers from us in a weird way.
それじゃあ次はディオね。あなたの職業は何？
大抵この話をするとびっくりされるんだが。
He's a circus ringleader.
実はサーカスの団長をしてるんだ。
I was right. I was like, he's dressed the part. I mean, he does dress the part, but the only difference is that he's very ragged, so it kind of makes him a little bit different. But he still kind of has that vibe with him. A ringleader.
団長？
A dancho.
ああ。50人ほどのキャラバンを率いて各地を転々と巡業して回ってる。
Huh.
もともとは俺のじいさんのじいさんが立ち上げたサーカスなんだが、
Nice.
親父が若くして亡くなっちまったせいで、俺が5代目の団長として後を継ぐことになったんだ。
Fair.
親父は空中ブランコ乗りでな。
Oh.
それまで誰もやったことのなかった4回転に挑戦し、失敗して真っ逆さまに落ちちまったんだよ。
That's a sad story to hear.
若くしてとは言ったが、その時にはもうすでに40代の半ばを超えていた。年がいもなくってやつだな。
Fair.
若い者には負けてられんとか言って無茶するから、あんなことに。
そう。あなたもお父さんを亡くしてるのね。
あ、
But that was an accident. His father was dead because of an accident. Alice's father has been murdered. So there's a difference. There is a difference.
なんだかしみったれた話になっちまったな。とにかく俺もゼロに心当たりはないよ。さらわれたのは千秋楽を終えて夜の街に繰り出した時のことだった。
Huh.
ベロンベロンに酔っ払って寝床であるキャンピングカーに戻る途中、
Totally fair.
そこでいきなり何者かに襲われて黒いバンの中へと引きずり込まれたんだ。
Oh.
で、その直後に白い煙を吸わされて、気がついたら例の箱、AB ルームの中だったってわけさ。
That is interesting. I feel like his is a little bit slightly different because he didn't get gassed. Instead, he got kidnapped and then gassed at the same time.
さ、俺の話はもう十分だろ?
Alright, that's where I'll end it. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode, or in our video minds. Hope you guys have a great, amazing day. Good night to whenever watching this. Again, next episode, we'll continue with whatever this infirmary is. We'll go into the lounge next after this one, once we're done with the conversation between these folks. Hopefully, the next episode, I'll feel a lot better. Still have the cold, but it's slowly getting better. We'll see what happens, and yeah, other than that, that's it for this episode. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Roz, out.